was a sunny day anyway. So why should we complain? It was a sunny day anyway.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Thunder and Lightning Gaming Podcast. I'm Thunder.
And I'm Lightning.
This is the part where I would be like, now I've got a book update, but I didn't read it yet because I had such a busy week.
That's okay. We have D&D this week.
Yeah, I had
And-
D&D and 2 live streams and a bunch of stuff to edit.
Yeah. So we're gonna give him a break. But come Monday.
But do you? Oh, also, I should mention right up top that we are recording this one super early. We're literally recording this one a week before it airs. So if anything crazy happens in the news, forgive us. Do you have a book update?
I mean, not a book update. We are holding quote unquote production on that one.
Oh, are you actually waiting for me?
Yes.
Oh, well, it won't
I
be.
mean-
It won't be too much longer.
Yeah, we're not worried about it. In the meantime, we were gonna start working on something else. Haven't yet. We both had pretty busy weeks. Yeah, we're just doing lore to kind of flesh out the world.
Yeah,
It might come out in bits and pieces here and there.
right. Yeah, you were
So-
telling me like, just in case, like, so you're not like writing lore as it's needed.
Right. So it's more or less like what I'm doing right now is region descriptions. There's going to be 5 regions, and I'm just kind of writing, places of distinction
Yeah,
within the 5 regions.
yeah.
Even though in this first book, they're only going to go to 3. So just,
Yeah,
flushing things out.
yeah, that's cool. I was gonna, what you said something that reminded me of something, but that's for another podcast.
Oh.
Um,
Tune into other podcasts.
tune into all our stuff and watch us live on Twitch
Yeah.
every Sunday at 5:00, and also,
Other days.
other days sometimes too. We're recording this one so early that I was like, oh, can I say this? And I was like, no, I can't. But yeah, how was your week other than that?
Good. It's about to be busy.
Yeah.
But last night, after work, recorded guitar tracks for the EP, and it went really, really, really well.
That's it, right?
I'm sorry. We only got 3 tracks done.
Oh, okay.
So I was thinking to myself, I was like, we recorded, this is another band, of course, but it was more parts, and we recorded them in 2 sessions. I was like, why is this one taking so long? And it's because the first album was 2 12-hour sessions.
Mm-hmm.
A little more, they were timed for 12 hours, but we stayed super late some nights,
Yeah.
or one of the 2 nights. This time they're just going 6-hour sessions at a time. It's 2 less songs than the full album. This is a 6-song EP. That was an 8-song album. But did 3 tracks last night for guitar. Then we have to do the other 3 tracks and then vocals. Then it'll be done. Then we will do music videos.
Right.
And then it will be released.
But it's taking longer because you're doing smaller sessions.
Yeah, it's taking longer because smaller sessions. I definitely know these tunes a lot better than I knew the ones I recorded last time.
Oh,
So,
okay. Cool.
yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, you've had, I'm assuming, all of quarantine to master them.
We've had 2 years
Oh,
to
damn.
master these songs. This band went through a lot of trials, a lot of different evolutions, different members, but me and the other guitarists have been the same the whole time. So I've had 2 years to learn most of these songs. And it came out really good. It was nice doing a nice session like that. I did get home at like 1:30,
Yeah.
which is the first time I've done that since COVID.
Yeah.
I felt normal, oddly enough.
because that was like more often than not the normal time that we would get home from shows sometimes.
Oh, yeah. I do have an update. So we were recording in that jam session, the one where I talked about
Oh my
that
God.
dead band.
Oh my God.
So the sticker was still there. It was a sticker. It wasn't a sign. There was a sticker.
Okay.
And the band is called Church and Puppets, or
Okay.
was called Church and Puppets. So last time we went in to record, that sticker was there. There was nothing else, not a single
Right.
drum key in the room. Everything was gone. Today, or last night, we went in, and there was a whole drum set there. And it was a
Okay.
cute little drum set like the old band had. And I got super excited, and I said, "Is this Church and Puppets? Are they back?" And sadly, no.
Oh.
It sounds like it's a different band.
I wanted this story to end with like a 10-year-old child comes out from behind like the back room and he's like, "Hello, I'm Churches and Puppets." It's nice to finally meet you.
I was really adamant asking too. I was like, over the course of 6 hours, I was like, "Are you sure this isn't them?"
Right, it's like,
And-
please just record
Well,
this.
yeah, well, Sean and Ryan, they were very nice about it. They answered my questions, but I did feel the need to be like, "Listen," I got real for a minute. I was like, this band was the first time COVID set in for me. It was the first time I realized what was happening,
Yeah.
and I knew why this band wasn't here. So if I'm asking a lot of reasons why this could be them being back, I'm sorry. But they got
it's
it.
coming. Trust me, it's coming from a place of actual trauma.
Yeah. But they said no because it's different drum heads. The other guy used, I don't know what the other guy used, but this guy was using Ludwig's,
Okay.
and the front kick drum skin was Ludwig, and because I would say, well, maybe he's trying different skins, but you don't normally change that one
Right.
because it doesn't get utilized.
Right.
So I'm sure it's not Church and Puppets, but Church and Puppets, if you are out there and you hear this, I would genuinely like to know if you just changed locations or if that band is still around or if you guys are all okay. It was a traumatic experience, and I did get very excited when I saw a drum set in their spot last night, but it sounds like it's not you guys. I didn't think there was going to be more to that story, but
No, me either. I was excited. Churches and Puppets, hit us up so Chris can sleep better at night, knowing that you guys are out there somewhere thriving at least a little bit.
or at least
in
that
this
you're all
pandemic.
okay.
Or at least that you all survived the pandemic, the ongoing pandemic.
It was just that band is just such a symbol of COVID for me.
Yeah.
But I wish it was them.
It was almost them.
It was almost
A beautiful
yeah, a Kodak
beautiful
moment of me being like, everything's gonna be okay. Now I'm waiting next time I go in and that sticker's just ripped off.
No,
There's
no.
just a little bit of it still on there, and next to it's a giant poster of this new band that's in there. Because it's such a humble sticker. It's like this big. And it's just stuck right on there. Like
They made stickers before they. I'm making assumptions at this point.
they could. I mean, this could have been in. This might not have been a starter band per
Right.
se. They could have been a band and decided to start recording.
The fact
practicing there.
the fact that they had a sticker already makes me think that we were wrong and they were a band for a little bit of time before that moment.
Yeah,
Or they had
got
a very
super
overzealous.
excited, yeah.
They were like, well, what do bands have? Stickers. Let's make stickers before our first practice.
Oh no.
I've seen shows where stuff like that happens.
I gotta show you something really cute and funny from recording last night, and it's
Okay.
something I can describe over the microphone. But I want to
Okay.
hand this to you, and I want you to tell me if you can point out what's weird in this picture.
Is this an image?
Yeah, you can get closer to it if you want.
Yeah, so what I'm looking at is it's a picture of an amp. And it has a tiny, and when I say tiny, I mean like
The palm of your hand.
maybe like a eighth of the size of the big amp.
The
a
microphone
smaller amp on top of the amp, and then there's a microphone
that is bigger than the amp.
that is bigger than the amp that is set up next to the amp. It looks like using 2 mic stands or 3 mic stands.
So both amps are mic'd.
Oh, I see. That's also a mic. I see now.
In this picture, he's only utilizing the palm-sized amp to record one of his solos.
Okay.
But it's just hysterical. The mic's bigger than the amp,
Yeah.
and it gets this huge sound.
So what are these amps hooked up to?
That little amp?
Both of them. Why is one of them so little?
It's just a baby amp, something to play with,
Oh,
at home. But he brought it in, and we recorded a solo with it.
good.
That's battery powered, that amp. I'm pretty sure.
That's crazy what you just said. That's not how amps work, typically.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's battery powered amps.
I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah, little baby amps. They're battery powered.
Good, good for them.
Yeah.
Where's the little baby amp Brave Little Toaster character? That's what I want to know.
That's the next one, right?
No, they can't be making those still, right? Who owns Brave Little Toaster? Disney?
I'd assume Disney.
Was it Bluth? What, the guy who made American Tail, did he make?
Oh, I don't know.
My Little... No, not My Little Toaster.
My Little
Brave,
Toaster.
Brave Little Toaster and its subsequent sequels. Do you want to know what's always fucked me up about...
What a traumatic movie.
While I Google this, do you want to know what's always fucked me up? Oh, yeah, super traumatic. They call the human that they own Master. And I'm just like, can we have to?
Not a big fan of that.
Who made it? The Brave Little Toasters. An American-British animated musical. Film adaptation of the 1980 novel of the same name. Who the fuck made it, though? Is it
There's
Disney?
a novel called The Brave Little Toaster?
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Produced by
has got to be nuts.
The film was produced by Hyperion Animation along with the Kushner Lock Company.
I bought the Brave Little Toaster DVD at Comic-Con.
The rights were acquired by Disney in 1982.
Cool.
So Disney has it now. Yeah, is there a book? Yeah, it's a novel called The Brave Little Toaster.
That's insane.
Oh, the toaster on the book is way cuter. The that you use to put the bagels down is the nose.
Oh.
Rather than the face being on the
Yeah. Can I
other
see?
side. Yeah. Yeah. He's quite charming and not
but I
terrifying.
don't care for Blanket.
Oh, I didn't even look at Blanket. I love how Blanket has to be an electric blanket, so they have something to put the face on.
Yeah, they didn't do that for the book, though.
Oh, God, I wish they had. If you, people listening, Chris, whoever, are someone who, like me, sort of remembers Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars, and you're like, I bet I could recount the plot. You should find it and watch it, because it is not what you remember. I promise you.
I am that person, and I couldn't tell you the plot, and I'm sure it's bananas.
Yeah, it's not like okay, obviously they go to Mars, right? And that's like the way they get their household appliances. So the way they get there is a little far-fetched. But once they get there, like, that's where my memory stopped of them, like, actually being on Mars. And I was like, what's the second act of this movie going to look like? And it's not what I remember. Let's just say it's got some real Putt-Putt Goes to the Moon vibes that I was not expecting.
Okay.
In a pretty
major way.
In a pretty indirect way, yeah.
How was your week?
My week was fine. Well, first of all, I'm back to my sleep schedule being completely and utterly fucked.
As expected.
I did find enough time to do all the things I needed to do this week.
Yeah, because we have a busy week. We have D&D coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, and I am the DM for our group, so I have been writing, and I was talking to Kelsey about this. I definitely forgot how to write D&D for like a good hour or two while I was writing this. It was just me talking, and then I was like, I should probably put in some character interactions at some point, something for the players to do, probably. But I think it ended up being better than it was when the week started.
Exciting.
I don't want to say it's good because I don't want to be like, I wrote it good,
Why'd you send us that picture last night? It was a picture of the whiteboard we're gonna use for tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Well, it's just it's got relevant information on it. Just thought I'd throw that up there again.
Fair enough.
The Norse mythology timeline is absolutely bullshit. So
Oh yeah.
I fixed it for our campaign. Heimdall, I left this out of my timeline because fuck this. Heimdall has 8 mothers, and they all gave birth to him at the same time.
Of course they did.
Lots of stuff in Norse mythology is like that, where it's like, that's not how physics works.
Loki is brother with a wolf.
No, his son is a wolf.
Oh, his son is a wolf. That's it.
Loki has 4 children. One that he birthed himself, a horse, and one that he had with Angbota. One is a giant wolf, one's a giant snake, and one is a human woman, I think, who, like, they give dominion over Hel, so she turns slowly into, like, a weird witch woman. But as far as I can tell, Hel is the only, like, human, quote-unquote, son of Loki, child of Loki. Assuming that Loki's human, which he's not. He's frost giant, even in Norse mythology. Also, in the movies, they make Lao Fei a dude, and he's not a dude. He's a female, and I don't know why they changed that. It was such a weird thing to change.
Oh.
In Thor 1, when Thor's like, we're gonna go run amok in Jotunheim,
Yeah.
and there's like a big blue dude,
Yeah.
and then Odin has to come with his 9-legged horse, which frustrates me to no end because it has an odd number of legs. I have to stop talking about Norse mythology or else it'll be the rest of the podcast. So I was doing that. And because I was doing that, I haven't really been playing many video games, so the video game podcast will be interesting. I did, however, manage to find time to build a 500-piece puzzle, and I know what you're thinking. You told me you wouldn't have enough time to watch that movie. What do you mean you built a puzzle? When I'm writing D&D, a lot of it is like, this is not easy to do visually, so I'll try to say everything I'm doing, but a lot of it is like type, and I'm just sitting there thinking, and I'm like, okay. And then I go to type, I'm like, no, that's stupid. I shouldn't type that. And then I'm like, oh, no, I figured it out. So instead of just sitting there doing nothing, I was building a puzzle on my desk here because I got a small puzzle.
Good.
And I built it right on my desk, and it fit perfectly.
Good.
And it wasn't hard to do. Let's talk about news. Sorry, I didn't talk about my week that much.
That's okay.
Nothing fucking happened. CW has gone too far.
Oh.
The CW has gone too far. When they made Riverdale, I didn't think they were setting a new precedent for what if we did this with everything. And CW announced a live-action Powerpuff Girls TV show.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I did not hear about this. Pauline sent me a bunch of news, and we're probably gonna touch on it. But but hold the phone. There's a live action Powerpuff Girls show
so
coming?
CW ordered season. They do it by season. If the
Are
season
they gonna be abnormally large children?
no
I mean, abnormally large-headed children?
No, it's gonna be fucking Riverdale, but Powerpuff Girls. They're gonna be normal teenagers who I read that
Are they teenagers?
in the show they will be.
Okay, but not. They're supposed to be little girls.
Yeah, they're preschoolers.
Yeah. Okay.
I read so CW orders by season, right? So literally, if you're a fan of a CW show like I am in many cases, like with The Flash and Supergirl and stuff, you don't know if there's going to be a next season until they announce them.
Okay.
So right now they ordered a 1 season of a Powerpuff Girls TV show, and the description was like, it basically said like 3. I think it said college age. It might have been high school though. 3 teenage women, not little kids, who like resent the fact that they lost their childhood to being superheroes.
Oh.
That was the like one sentence description of this bonkers ass TV show. And may I say, I don't know how licensing works, but why does CW get the Powerpuff Girls show?
Right, why not Cartoon Network?
Why not Cartoon Network, the people who created and have never lost the rights to Powerpuff Girls?
Right.
Because Riverdale, whatever, and then clearly they have a thing with Archie because they make the Riverdale show and then they make the Sabrina show and then
Right.
they make the Katie Keene show, and they're doing Nancy Drew now, but I'm pretty sure Nancy Drew is public domain. If she's not, I'd be very surprised. But now they're doing, and they have a Charmed show, which I don't think they made the original Charmed. They couldn't have possibly. But now they're doing Powerpuff Girls, which is like a Cartoon Network thing. And I know Cartoon Network, it's right there in the name, they make cartoons, but like you'd think if, I don't know, it's just weird that like we here at Cartoon Network are announcing that we have a new show on a different channel
Right.
in a different animation style, which is to
Right.
say not animated.
Right. That's strange. Just make the Mystery Incorporated show already.
That's the thing, right? Like they're gonna, like we know how they fucking do. This show's gonna be called Townsville.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and it's gonna have like the Titans filter where like nothing is like bright.
Mm.
It's gonna suck, is what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
Riverdale's good, and I'm not gonna sit here and say Riverdale's not good. This Powerpuff Girl show cannot be good.
Very, very curious what the theme song's going to be.
I'm curious to see. Well, no, you know how CW does. It's just gonna be like ba-bum.
I actually don't know how CW does. I don't
CW
watch
doesn't do theme
CW
songs.
shows.
The
Oh.
only CW show that has a theme song that's more than like 15 seconds is Supernatural, and Supernatural's theme song is "Carry On My Wayward Son," which is a real
Oh.
song. But no, it's gonna be a 3 or 4 note stinger, and it's not gonna be the notes you'd expect. And the show's gonna be
mean-
called Townsville, and it's gonna suck.
If it's not bum bum ba da da dun dun, then they screwed up. If that's
If it's
the route
not
they're gonna
that,
go.
if that's not up there in some way, there was a licensing issue.
Yeah,
And maybe Cartoon Network should have made this show. Do you want me to run through my news and then we can get to yours?
it's probably the same.
Okay.
Can we do that backwards? Can I
Sure,
run through
yeah.
mine? Okay. Well, that's for later. Oh Christ, what's her name though, Pauline?
Gina Carano?
Yes, Gina Carano.
Fuck her.
Fire
Yeah. Get rid of her.
from everything.
Get her out of here. Yeah, good. Fuck her.
I have a lot to say about this.
Okay, go for
So,
it.
do you know what the tipping point was? Because she had been shitty. and
Yeah,
I think Disney
she's-
was just waiting for her to screw up one more time.
She's been a weird, bigot, fascist Trump supporter for a while now. What I didn't realize there was like
Trans-hating.
also that, yeah. Well, I didn't know there was like a
Oh, there was a finale.
I didn't know that. I just heard Gina Carano fired, and I was like, yeah. So I didn't really. But yeah, what was it?
So the finale was, I guess she made a tweet or a post or something that essentially said, this is definitely not exact wording,
Right.
but being a conservative Republican as of right now is so repressive that it is the same as a Jew during Nazi Germany.
Oh no.
During the Holocaust specifically.
Oh no.
And
That's not-
just as a history buff, as a historian over here,
Yeah.
there's so many things wrong. A guy at work said it perfectly. He was like, "What is she talking about? They're the most free people in the world. They stormed the Capitol and got away with
Yeah.
it scot-free."
Yeah.
I don't understand the comparison of. Sorry, I'm trying to wrap my head around it again. 'Cause
No,
I sat
it's-
and thought about it for like 2 hours yesterday, and it's unbelievable that because your party lost within the 1 month that we have had a new president who was not the oppressive orange man who was in
Right.
charge.
Who, in his 1 month as president, has, as any president has done, not really done anything because he hasn't been president for too
Right.
long.
And that's actually intentional. They usually hold off and read everything that was happening and
Right.
then start making decisions.
Right.
Just so it's not like quick fire, like, well, we're going to do this. It's like, well, you're coming into an ongoing process.
Right.
So you pick up where the other guy left off. And that's going to take like a month or two of review. But just for those who might not know what the Holocaust was or what it involved or what happened, there's many steps that happened leading up to the Holocaust. And
Yeah,
step
it wasn't.
one-
It wasn't just we wake up one day. There's a Holocaust happening.
well, yeah, and I'm just curious, like, where her logic comes in, because step
There
one,
is none. It's a.
I know there
I
isn't.
hear that series of words that you said that, as you mentioned, is not exactly what she said, and I'm just like, man, that's some weird, dumb bullshit that almost doesn't really make any sense at all, and is definitely something that our former president would say.
Right, and like I'm just trying to draw the resemblance that she was trying to draw, and I guess the point she would be trying to make is, I feel repressed for the shitty things that I'm saying, but what she doesn't realize is she can say those, people aren't going to agree, and Disney has been pretty clear that if you're shitty outside of work, they are gonna not work with you.
Yeah, James Gunn was like sort of shitty, and they were like, nope.
Yeah.
and even that was like, people were like, well, hang on.
And this being the country that it is, if you have an issue with that, well, tough. They have all the right in the world to say, we don't want to work with you
Right.
because of the way you conduct yourself. And it's not really beliefs. I mean, if she was a shitty person and kept to herself about it, I'm sure they'd not look the other way, but it's when you make public ridiculous statements.
That's the thing, right? Like, I say that with Tim Allen all the time. Like, I feel like Tim Allen was probably always shitty, but
Yeah.
it's just that he's more vocal about it now.
Yeah, it's because they're always like, oh, they had a different opinion than what everybody wanted them to have, so they got the axe. And it's like, well, no, it's because they were being a shitty person.
Yeah.
You can have different views. That's why, like, not to get too political with it, but you know, I'm a why can't I think of it? Well, I don't know why my brain just shut off. It's considered undeclared, but it's
Independent?
independent. I'm part of the independent parties because these parties can be radicalized way too. Like, not every Republican's an asshole,
Right.
but any radicalized person who's still behind what happened and is happening sucks. I mean, and it could go either way. You can radicalize any party you want. It's just if you're going to be a shithead and you're going to defend the insurrection, the terrorist attack on this country that happened last month, people are going to consider that.
Yeah.
It's a job. There shouldn't be if I went in to my work and started talking about how much I love ISIS, how great of a job they've been doing, I'm sure somebody at my work would have a complaint
Yeah.
and bring it to a boss and say, do we really want to have this person in our workplace? It sounds like they don't have great opinions on certain things, and it could. But worse, her case is worse because she's a public figure.
Right. That's the thing. It's gotten to the point, and I would argue it got to this point a few months ago, maybe even over a year ago at this point. But it got to the point where, like, her being the way she is and saying the things that she chooses to say is going to hurt the viewership of The Mandalorian, which is like Disney Star Wars, like probably their most successful like IP right now.
Beyond that, I'm sorry. I have like I said, I have a million things to say about this. I was thinking about the statement she made, and if you're gonna be dumb, not to get like racist here, but over the past 50 years, do you know what certain nationalities ran Hollywood?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, beyond that, the creator of Star Wars, George Lucas,
Yeah.
yeah, he has a best friend, right?
Uh-huh.
That best friend made E.T.,
Uh-huh.
made Jaws, he made
Animaniacs.
Animaniacs, and he also made a little film called Schindler's List.
Yeah.
And the reason he was given Schindler's List was because people knew he would put the utmost respect and make it the way it's supposed to be made, and he didn't want to because he was so attached to the project.
Yeah.
His name's Steven Spielberg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe not practicing, but Jewish person. Her career is Star Wars. Like, there's just
Yeah.
don't say dumb things.
Right.
it's gonna come back to bite you.
Even if it's funny because the only two things I know her from are Star Wars and Deadpool, and even
Right.
if she was still in Deadpool, Deadpool's also Disney now.
Right. Oh man.
She'd be like,
Screwed
she'd be
herself
like,
left and
well,
right."
fuck. At least I got. Damn it! They owed everything.
So I went into work and I talked to Ryan the day it happened, and I was like, I didn't know what she did at first, but I saw she got fired, and I was like, I don't care. I didn't care about her character. I didn't know her character was coming back for the second season. I thought she was gonna, like, if she did, I figured she'd be a 1-episode thing, and
Yeah.
then we don't get in touch with her again. The only people we're sad she's leaving for is, because he and I talked about this, are the little, sorry, kind of a burp. Oh, it came back.
Little
The
girls
little
watching.
girls who thought she was a great
Yeah.
character and maybe their favorite character, and that's kudos to Disney because they're taking responsibility.
Right.
Like, this is something growing up, maybe it was because I was an angsty teen and I didn't care about but when Miley Cyrus was starting to go through her weird phase,
Yeah.
and Justin Bieber, I'm like, you guys are children icons. You kind of have a sense of responsibility to these kids that are looking up to you.
Right.
Same thing here. At the end of the day, you and I love Star Wars. Everybody loves Star Wars. Star Wars is essentially for children. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of kids are going to watch Star Wars. Disney's taking responsibility.
Yeah.
They're saying if you're going to be a piece of shit outside of work, you can't work here.
Right.
Because you are responsible for being a role model for children.
Right.
Kudos to them. I think that's everything I wanted to say on that bit of news.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, I was very, very opinionated.
No, I
very
mean,
upset about
it makes sense because
I'm so sorry. One more thing.
Okay.
She got fired.
Yeah.
Disney announces, by the way, we were giving you your own show.
Oh, really?
Tears up the contract.
Damn.
Your character was getting her own show, not now.
Well,
Sorry. That I was trying to bury the lead on that, and I forgot.
that's cool. That's good for Disney.
Now you say things.
Oh, I was just gonna say, to go off what you were saying about how Star Wars is for kids and how Cara Dune, her character's name on The Mandalorian, was for all of season 2 and all of season 1 and some of season 2, like the only female character on the show, and she was sort of a badass, so
Yeah.
you could see how little girls would be like, and then cut to like there's I know they shouldn't be, but there's probably some of those little girls who are also on Twitter,
Right.
which is a bless you, which is a
Thank you.
website that is totally free to sign up for.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I personally don't think you should be on Twitter unless you're over the age of 18. But there's
Fair
nothing stopping people. Not that Twitter is inherently 18 plus. It's just a lot of nowadays, post Trump, a lot of shit happens on Twitter
Yeah.
that kids don't have to see.
Also, hopefully this is a good runner-up for kids, but I hear Cara Dune's gone. I'm like, good. Maybe we'll spend more time on Bo-Katan. Like,
Mm.
like there's other females in the show.
Right, 'cause
Most of them
she's
just
not-
got their own show,
Because
but
she's not getting her own show, right?
at least not yet, which is telling me she's probably going to be on The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
We left on a pretty big cliffhanger
Yes,
that
yeah,
things
no,
need to be resolved.
That was like the biggest. What am I trying to say? That was the cliffhanger that I was the most interested in.
Right.
Because
So,
because the episode ended, I was like, wait, her thing.
right. So hopefully, and I'd be very excited for this, the absence of Dune means more Bo-Katan.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be down for that.
Right. Pauline's words. Apparently, she's a transphobic, racist COVID denier who's compared being a Republican to being a victim of the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Her agency has also dropped her.
Oh, so she's just fucked.
Yeah,
she is not.
She'll be working at McDonald's. But another thing one of the guys at work said was she stuck her neck out for Republicans. She'll be fine, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Multiple actors and actresses from Justice League and Buffy the Vampire Slayer speak
Oh,
out
God, we're
against
getting right
Joss
into this.
Whedon
Yeah.
after years of abuse and unprofessional behavior.
So
That's all I know on that.
So here's what happened, because I pretty much know the whole story at this point. I didn't realize we were going to talk about
Sorry,
this too.
thank you for the news, Pauline. She gave us one thing for the game, which
Yeah.
it was going to happen no matter what.
So Ray Fisher, the actor who played Cyborg in the Justice League movie, if I may,
Sure.
pretty terrible Justice League movie. Here's the thing about the Justice League movie, if I can just give a little bit of backstory for current world events, right? Zack Snyder makes Man of Steel. Zack Snyder makes Batman vs. Superman. Those movies are bad. Zack Snyder walks up to the plate and tries to swing a home run on Justice League. Unfortunately, halfway through production, Zack Snyder's son passed away, so he
Right.
had to give the directing job to someone else, and that someone else was Joss Whedon, director of Avengers and Age of Ultron and Buffy and Cabin in the Woods and a bunch of different stuff. He wrote the screenplay for Toy Story. And in my opinion, when I'm watching the Justice League movie, because I kind of like the Justice League movie, at least compared to the other two I mentioned, you can really tell which scenes are Joss Whedon scenes and which scenes are Zack Snyder scenes. And I've always been like, yeah, the Joss Whedon stuff, it's not great, but at least it's better than the Zack Snyder stuff. And now the Snyder cut is coming out, and it's apparently going to be like 3.5 hours long or 4 hours long or some shit.
Yeah.
And, like, all these characters that weren't, like, they just showed off the Joker for Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I'm like, why is he in that? He wasn't in that.
Yeah.
But Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg on Justice League a couple months ago, maybe a full year ago at this point, basically came out and was like, hey, Joss Whedon fucking sucks. And he was very abusive to me and other members of the staff, and he was I thought at first it was just like some misogynistic stuff, like
Yeah.
treating his female, but apparently it's just like generalized, widespread abuse towards his actors and people working for him, which I guess spans all the way back to Buffy, which really sucks.
Wow.
But basically what happened was Ray Fisher was like, yeah, Joss Whedon sucks. Let's do an investigation. And then someone, I'm not sure who, was like, yes, let us do an investigation. And then DC, this might be a little inaccurate, but DC, from what I've heard, DC retaliated to Ray Fisher doing that by firing Ray Fisher from his role that he was going to have in the Flash movie. So Cyborg's
because he wanted to look into Josh Whedon.
Yeah, so one thing led to another, and Ray Fisher's like accusation of Joss Whedon led to him being fired on the Flash, which is obviously not a good thing or the appropriate thing to do. But it was one of those things where Ray Fisher took it as like, I mean, I'd rather out Joss Whedon than have my
Right.
role in this movie. And now a bunch of people are coming forth, and hashtag I Stand With Ray Fisher has started, which is like exclusively a hashtag that basically actors from Buffy the Vampire Slayer are using. Charisma Carpenter, who played Faith. Yeah, Charisma Carpenter played Faith on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and she just like came clean about everything. She was like, he's abusive. Here's how he treated me during this. I've stuck up for him in the past. I've made excuses for his abuse and stuff like that. He said that she said that she got pregnant during season whatever, let's say 3, she got pregnant during season 3 of Buffy, right? And Joss Whedon takes her into her office and asks her if she's planning on keeping it.
Oh.
And basically was like, you're ruining the integrity of my show with being pregnant and blah, blah, blah. And then
Good God.
the season after she had the baby, he fired her
Oh my God.
because she had a baby, is what is her words.
That's horrible. That's unprofessional. I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
I was talking to my brother about this. It's definitely illegal to fire someone because they're pregnant. That's, I think, why he waited until after she
Yeah.
had the baby to be like, well, we're changing directions of the whatever, you know.
Don't people dislike Age of Ultron because of his direction?
Yeah, a lot of people say Age of Ultron's a pretty shitty movie, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's, really good. I like it.
Yeah, I didn't mind Age of Ultron.
I've always kind of had a soft spot for Age of Ultron. I think we talked about this recently, how when I saw Age of Ultron in theaters, I was like, neat. And now that I'm older, I'm watching it, I'm like, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
And has a lot to say about certain things. But there is that, I'm sure, okay, so there's a scene in Justice League where the Flash, clumsy old the Flash, trips and he falls on Wonder Woman, and his face goes right in her boobs.
Okay.
And Joss Whedon was insistent on having that shot happen. So much so that when Gal Gadot, the actress who plays Wonder Woman, said, I will not do this shot, instead of canceling the shot and replacing it with a less weird shot, he just got a body double so he could do that shot. And if you'll remember, that exact shot also happens in Age of Ultron with the Hulk and Scarlet Witch when Ultron attacks the party. They fall behind the bar, and he falls right on his face, right in her tits, and she's like, "Don't turn green."
Right.
So
right.
it just seems like Joss Whedon's fucking weird beard, but also one that likes to abuse the people working on his projects, and he'll probably never get work again, and that's not a bad thing.
We put a joke in one of our video essays.
Our first video essay.
Was it our first one?
It was
it's gonna
our
age very well.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You knew exactly what I was getting.
yeah,
At.
yeah. We cut to his big dumb face, and we basically, I think the line is like, we're talking about how Black Widow isn't called Black Widow until
Right.
she is, and we say that we're just gonna chalk it up to bad writing,
Yeah.
and we show his dumb, stupid face. It sucks, man. He made a lot of stuff that I really liked,
I mean,
and
one thing with, I think cancel culture has good intentions and decent responsibilities.
it definitely has its place, and then it has its we've taken it too far in this one instance.
Well, that's the thing.
Stuff.
Because there's been times in history where, and I always use him as a reference, but and now I can't think of him, the composer. Wagner.
Oh, okay.
Wagner was pretty much a pre-Nazi.
Okay. Did not know that.
Still an unbelievable composer.
Oh, yeah.
They still teach him in school because it's a part of history that you need to know for music.
Yeah, that's the conversation that we keep having, and by when I say we, I mean the general public keeps having with J.K. Rowling,
Oh yeah.
which is like, just because J.K. Rowling fucking sucks and she should never work again or be allowed to write another book, and she's just one of the world's worst people, doesn't stop the fact that you grew up with Harry Potter and you love Harry Potter. Not you,
Mhm.
but like the person
I mean
in this,
me.
the person in this analogy. No,
Yeah.
but I mean like some people were like shaped like
Yeah.
sexually by Harry Potter. Like I am bisexual because I read Harry Potter, and you know,
Yeah.
and the fact that J.K. Rowling sucks doesn't change that. And the same can be said about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So many people have Willow and Tara to thank for how openly gay they are now. And the fact that Joss Whedon sucks doesn't change that. And I don't think that the importance of things like the Avengers and Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog should be diminished because its creator is this person.
Right. No, exactly.
And Firefly. Oh my God, I forgot about Firefly.
You can down the creator as much as you want, but it doesn't take away from their work.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is, and there's a million examples.
Yeah. Okay, so we are basically out of time.
Yeah.
I do want to get to 3 quick news things real quick.
Yeah, oh, sure.
One, they announced a new Sonic movie. It's coming out the day Into the Spider-Verse 2 comes out.
Crazy.
It's just called Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but the 2 has Tails.
Nice.
And the song that they played during this 11-second stinger was Sonic 2 music, which was exciting because I didn't think they had it in them. Tom Holland, in an interview, has said that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield will not be in Spider-Man 3, which isn't that exactly what someone who knows that they are going to be in Spider-Man 3 would say?
No, more specifically, somebody who has spoiled almost every Marvel movie he's been in.
I know.
Friggin' Benedict Cumberbatch was backstage, slapped him in the face, and said, "You're gonna go out there and you're gonna tell people that they're not in this movie."
The only reason I follow you around everywhere is because of this.
So now you're just gonna lie. You're not gonna spoil the truth. You're gonna lie to these people.
Also, I'm
glad we were on the same. He says that, and I'm like, of course you would say that.
They're making an adult animated Scooby-Doo prequel for HBO Max, and it's going to be an origin story on Velma, and Velma's going to be voiced by Mindy Kaling, the woman who plays Kelly in The Office.
Oh, okay.
And that was tweeted, right? And someone replied to it, and their tweet was, starring Mindy Kaling, and then they quoted the GIF they put the GIF from The Office where he's like, no! And then Mindy Kaling responded to it and said, I wrote the episode of The Office this GIF is from.
Awesome.
I don't know why they got her either,
is
but
it
I'm
live
not.
action?
No, animated.
It's animated.
Adult animated HBO Max Velma origin story.
Okay.
Voiced by Mindy Kaling.
So just a film? Like a Scooby-Doo movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for, actually for adults this time rather than sort of for adults.
That will be interesting. I wonder how much they mean by for adults.
And I wonder why they got Mindy Kaling. I don't mind. I like Mindy Kaling, but I don't know why they got Kate Micucci, the woman who is currently. Scooby-Doo's so weird about that.
Yeah.
Cut to the Scoob movie. They got Gina Rodriguez to voice.
Maybe it's just availability.
Maybe. I don't know.
The voice actor who has made a living off of being Velma, what else are you doing?
Right.
If that's the case.
I don't know. With the case of Scoob and fucking Zac Efron being Fred, I don't know. It's just weird to me that it's like, oh man, we can't get the person who always does Fred. I know what we'll do. We'll get someone 10 times famouser.
Yeah. Who has almost no experience in voice acting.
In voice acting, right. Absolutely none, I think. Maybe. I don't know. He's probably in fucking Trolls or Croods or some shit. But yeah, that'll do it for us. Sorry we went a little long, but Gina Carano and Joss Whedon had to both be shitheads. So what are you gonna do? Follow us on Twitch. Twitch.tv/PIERTOOCCULT. We're live every Sunday at 5. And some other times we're live too. Our theme song is Sunny Day by Froggy and the Friendship, which is on their SoundCloud, and you're about to hear it. And our Let's Play theme song is the 8-bit version of that, also by them, also on their SoundCloud. And until next time, I've been Thunder.
I'm Lightning.
Stay safe, stay clean, and we'll see you next time.
Amazing video game I only got